Hello, my name is Brian Devon, and today we're bringing you the Elks Rainbow Celebrity 5-mile road race. It's a great day for a 5-mile jaunt, and as a matter of fact, the pollution has disappeared, at least for the morning. We're hoping it's going to stay that way until the runners and more spectators show up. We're expecting a crowd much larger than originally anticipated. I think a combination of the heat every place else and the beautiful weather that Squantum is synonymous for is going to add to the joy of the day. But before we go on, it's a little early, we'll switch you over to Jim Nance.
Hi, I'm Jim Nance. I'm here to talk with Joe Grant, who is chairman of the Quincy Elks Rainbow Association, who can tell us about the Elks Rainbow and its purpose and its goals.
Thank you, Jim. As you know, this is our 3rd year for the Rainbow Celebrity Road Race, which you've been involved in since the very beginning.
You mean 3 years going by so quickly?
No, it doesn't seem possible.
I know it.
This is the 3rd year, and we decided to bring it from the North Shore down here to the South Shore because this is where it all started, right here at the Quincy
To get the community involved.
Yep. And we've got the police, the firemen, everybody has come forth, as you can see by the response today.
I'm just going to ask you, Joe, what's the response of the community so far based on what you've done?
It's been tremendous. Absolutely tremendous, Jim. They know it's for terminally ill children, and they know that all the money goes to children who want their last wish, and we've been doing this now this is our 4th year, but it's our 3rd road race, and the whole town turns out for this.
That's tremendous. You just mentioned the police a little bit ago. How involved have the police become?
They have been unbelievable. The Quincy Police Department have been absolutely unbelievable. Charlie Santoro and Steve O'Brien jumped in on the bandwagon one day when they heard about this, and they got other police officers involved. They got other police officers running the race, and they have been just, we couldn't have done it without their support. They've been just absolutely fabulous.
One step further, since I'm talking about different departments, how about the fire department?
Fire department, last year they took little Frankie Ruscio. They gave him a ride in the fire engine, the 4th of July parade. Last week they took him up on the ladder. The firemen and the police department, both in the city of Quincy, have been just unbelievably supportive of us.
You bring up another interesting point. Tell us about Frankie a little bit. Tell the people what our situation or the situation with Frankie.
Well, Frankie has what is known as the Hand-Schuller-Christian disease, which is a retardation of the bones. And Frankie is the same size now as he was 2 years ago. He looks like he's about 5 years old, and actually he'll be 9 in another 2 weeks or so. And Frankie had 3 wishes when he came to us. He said he wanted to ride a fire engine, he wanted to ride on a boat, and he wanted to go to a carnival. And we were able to fulfill those 3 wishes for him. So in that particular case, there was no money involved. See, but there are others who come to us whose families are affected, and we try to help them if we can.
That was my next question. My next question was, here's a situation that doesn't cost the Rainbow Association any money. Why are you raising money for chronically ill children. Can you give us another example of where you might need money?
Well, sure. It all started 3 years ago with Mary Ann Grace from Braintree, who had lost a leg and an arm through cancer, and Mary's dream was to go to Hawaii. And we were able to raise $4,500 and send her on her last trip. She was out in Hawaii for a week. The Elks in Hawaii kept her there for an extra week, and when she came home, she was only home 3 days when she went into a coma, and she never came out of it. And so timing was so important. The fact that she was able to realize what she wanted more than anything.
You guys were able to come through right then.
That's right. She wanted Hawaii, and she said, if this is what heaven is like, I don't mind going. She was really, really happy.
So obviously you want to be in situations where you want to do more things for other chronically ill children.
That's right, and that's where
people who can't do for themselves.
That's right, and that's where you convinced us, Jim, that we've got to get the Rainbow name known throughout the Commonwealth, so that they'll be able to come to us rather than our going to them.
That's exactly. We're here because we want the world to know about the Quincy Elks Rainbow Association, what we do, what our purposes are, because we want to help many more chronically ill children.
Jim Nance has found TV5's Jim Boyd, and let's see if we can get over there and find out what they're talking about.
Jim, I tell you, it's nice having you here this morning.
Oh, it's good to be here.
And you being a runner as you are, we've got a tremendous course. We are here to support the chronically ill children under the name of the Quincy Elks Rainbow Association. So what our intent is to raise as much money as we can to support other young kids with dreams that they may not be able to achieve on their own.
Jim, I think that's an extremely worthy cause, and in whatever small way I can, I'm just glad to be able to be out here and help. You know, I run and I recognize the fact that, you know, kids that have limitations and illnesses, they perhaps can't get out and do this kind of thing. I'm just so glad that I've got a body that I can use so that somebody else can be helped by it.
Well, that's good, Jim. My point is this. A lot of guys, you athletes, whoever they may be, go through this world, and they continue to take and take and take without thinking in terms of giving back to the community. You are obviously an individual who's done a number of these road races or whatever. Again, this one today is to help chronically ill children, but I think your main attitude is to give back to the community, which is the reason I contact you in the first place.
Jim, I've got some very strong feelings about that. Without other people and other people's help and other people's support, I wouldn't be anything. And the Quincy Elks and their program to help chronically ill children, simply asking me to provide some small help, I'm gladly here to gladly do it.
Jim, I want to appreciate you being here today. Thank you. I know you do a good job on the track. Do your thing.
Well, I'm going to try.
Thanks,
Jim.
man.
Good to see you.
Yours and sports. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a person by the name of Freddie Conley in front of me here today, and he's the guy that handles the money for the Quincy Elks Rainbow Association. Freddie, tell me what you're doing here today.
What we're doing here today, Jim, we're trying to raise a lot more money for these terminally ill children, what this is all about. And we've had a very good showing from the runners here today so far, Jim.
Tremendous. Tell me, how long have you been involved in it, Freddie?
Ever since day one, 1981, Jim.
Super. So you were around with Mary Ann Grace, which started it, and from then on?
Very much involved in that, Jim. That there was how we started it. We sent Mary Ann Grace with the help of a lot of people's donations to Hawaii. We sent her for 1 week to Hawaii. And down Hawaii, the Hawaiian Elks down there took such a liking to Mary Ann Grace, they kept her for another week. She then come back home, and she lasted a couple of weeks and passed away, Jim. And this is where it all started from.
Looking at today's audience, and from this point on, how would you project, or what do you see for the Quincy Elks Rainbow, the direction of the Quincy Elks Rainbow Association from this point on?
Well, it's always my thought and caring, Jim, that the Quincy Elks Rainbow hope to help a lot more terminally ill children than we already have helped. Anybody that knows of any terminally ill children, we want you to get in touch with us so we can possibly help these kids. And this is what it's all about, Jim.
I'm glad you mentioned it also, because one of the things we want to do is let people know that, number one, that we're available, we are around, we're in other words, we're national. We want to be a national corporation, but aside from that, we want people to contact us about their ills.
Yes, we do, Jim. There's plenty of terminally ill children out there, and if the people that know about it don't contact us, we don't know, and if we don't know, we can't help them. Right, Jim?
Okay, good. Freddie, I thank you, and I'll tell you something. I've obviously gotten very involved in this organization. I'm glad I met you, and I'm glad I'm involved, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more in the future.
Thank you very much,
Thank you, Freddie. I'm developing a real good relationship with the two.
I know, but you better let it go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have first a nice looking lady by the name of Randy Ty beside me, who is also the starter of this race, and she's a representative of Coors. Randy, tell us a little bit about your background. I'm talking about the athletic background that you might have to lend towards something like this, and why might you and Coors be interested in a fun run here in Quincy?
I personally was a collegiate basketball player and also a competitive powerlifter. I have arthritis in my lower back and can't compete anymore. And so our company typically gets involved in many events. It's nice to be able to be involved where you can help other people, and that's what we're doing here.
In other words, what you're saying is what you will do is give back something to some other young kids who may not have the opportunity to do some of the things that you've done.
Exactly.
Well, we're finally ready to start the race. The runners are all being assembled at the starting line. Here comes our starter for the day. Runners are lined up. Runners are lined up, and we're on our way.
Hi, Brian. From this vantage point, we've got Jack Coakley is out in the lead, the chair runner. Bart Petrarca is starting to open up on the pack following him. This should even up as soon as they reach the hill out by the Nickerson post. He'll be, that'll slow him down a bit. Bart should get him there. It should be an interesting race. How was the start? Anybody fall down? We okay there?
No problems here, Ron. As a matter of fact, it was a very well-organized start, but that's to be expected. You had the Quincy Flyers working on it. I'm here with Trish Sullivan of the Quincy Flyers. Trish is the president of the Quincy Flyers these days?
Lately, yes.
What exactly are the Quincy Flyers?
Quincy Flyers is a running club that runs on the South Shore. We have approximately 75 to 100 runners in our membership. We run a lot of the local races in Quincy. We also help out at local races in Quincy. We have two or three races that we sponsor during the year. And basically we're very active in helping a lot of the local people and the local causes out because we feel it's a good cause. And we do all this basically on our own time and donate our time to the charities.
How many runners do we have today?
Today, right now, for the 5 mile, we have 230 runners, so that's very good for their first year down on the South Shore.
Is that a lot more than you expected?
Definitely, definitely. We had 117 pre-entries, and I thought maybe we'd have total between pre-entries and post-entries about 150.
Any particular reason you think this race is doing so well on the South Shore?
The cause itself, the Rainbow Fund. A lot of the people that are here today, they're not only running, they're walking for the cause. They're walking the 5 miler. There are children here running in the fun run just for the cause. The publicity, the people on the South Shore are very responsive to charity causes. They really are.
When does an event like this have to begin? When does the initial planning start?
It should start, say, a year. They should start next week to plan on for next year. This year we did it in a little less time, and I just hope that everything goes well today. So far it has, and next year we can just improve on it and make it a bigger and better race.
Any predictions for today? Any sure shots out there, or any long shots, or anyone that you see walking away with it, or is it going to be a tight race?
I think that Bart Petrarca, who is wearing number 1, will be your overall winner. He will be clearly out by himself. And then maybe even Jack Coakley, who's in our wheelchair. He's a very good wheelchair runner. He also did Mount Washington this year. So.
Okay, thanks a lot, Trish Sullivan,
Thanks,
Quincy
Brian.
Flyers.
Thanks, Brian.
Back to you out there now, Ron.
Okay, Brian, we're picking up the first major hill on the course. Not major for a runner, but major for a wheelchair, so Bart will pass him by. There he goes. Yeah, he's passed him now. He's coming through. Bart's running real smooth, real nice. Real nice.
Hey, you want to open up this gate?
We got a pack coming.
Thank you, Ron. It sounds very exciting out there. We're standing around here waiting in bated breath, and we're ready to cheer them on when you're through with them.
Hi, I'm Joe Fortunato, and I'm here with Randy Ty representing Coors Beer. And Randy, I hear that Coors is very involved with a lot of races and athletic events for causes such as this.
Yes, we had one a couple weeks ago. We have another one coming up for Labor Day, and we have an event coming up in about 4 weeks for the Alex Coffin Fund for Brain Tumor Research. That's a bicycle race. So it should be a lot of fun. We keep getting involved in events that help a lot of people, and particularly when there's children involved, and it's very nice to do.
It's also very enjoyable, too, to see so many people get involved with a cause like this, and it's just very good. You meet the nicest people at something like this, and we're very glad that you could be here today.
No, absolutely. One thing my father always taught me is you have to put back whenever you take something out. And you look at all the people around you, and there are a lot of people putting back, and it's really nice to see.
Okay, thank you very much, Randy Ty, and very glad you could be here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, we're only moments now from the finish, so we're going to go back to you, Ron, out there with the runners on the field.
Halfway, Bart.
For those of you that can't see him, the voice out there in the lead truck is Ron Turney, a Quincy runner of some note, but fast becoming more known as a race organizer.
Thank you, Brian.
And someone that you can always count on to help if you've got a charitable cause.
They just passed. Bart was going down the hill Bart was going down the hill, Jack Coakley coming up. They wished each other good. Jack said, I'll see you on the downhill. The rest of the pack is coming up now. Jim Conley, there's quite a few of them coming up. The following pack is a huge following pack. There's 30, 40 runners in that pack, but I don't think anybody's going to catch Bart. He's opened up quite a lead now. He's got 200 yards anyway. It's really amazing. All the runners going by are wishing Bart well. Good sportsmanship on everybody's part. There's Dick Sullivan. They wish each other well going by. A few rounds of applause for Bart coming down. Bart's running strong. I see Jack just coming out of the fog now. Bob Hassey going the other way. Another local runner. There's the first woman. There's Barbara. First woman just went by going the other way. There's Barbara and Dottie Shea, both neck and neck. Barbara was maybe 5 feet in front of Dottie. That should be interesting on the way back. Bart seems to know Jack's coming now. He's picked up the pace. He's really starting to stretch it out now. There's Jack coming around the corner, coming right up on him now. Jack's maybe 30 yards back. Back to you, Brian.
Thanks, Ron. We'll get back to you in a few moments, but since we've got a little time, why don't we tell the folks at home how it was that the Rainbow Foundation got started, and conversely, how this race got going.
Donna, as you know, we're going to have a road race Saturday.
Yeah.
The 3rd annual Elks Rainbow Celebrity Road Race. And as you also know, it all started with your daughter Mary Ann, when the Elks were able to send her to Hawaii. And do you remember that
I certainly
day?
do. I certainly do. It was a very cold day that day, in January. Yeah.
And we took her down to the airport, and will you tell us what Mary Ann, how she felt about wanting to go to Hawaii?
Well, she wanted to go to Hawaii really, really bad. But it was something that, without the Elks Rainbow, I never could have accomplished it for her. But the best part for me as her mother was, I knew she was dying. And I knew she didn't have all that much time left. And to have her be able to fulfill this dream that she had of going clearly halfway across the world, being as sick as she was, it was an incredible thing that the Elks Rainbow did for our family. And we were all happy that she could do it, and she talked about it right till the last day of her life. It was a very, very special thing they did.
Well, as you know, that started the Elks Rainbow. That's the reason we called it the Rainbow, because she found her wish, and the timing was so important, because when she got home, she was only home a short while after she had that trip, and she passed away.
That's right. Well, she came home and went into bed in the living room 3 days later in the hospital bed. She never got out of that bed again without being carried.
Yeah. Well, it's, as you know, Donna, her memory is going to live for many, many more years, because it was because of Mary Ann and because of her vibrant, outgoing personality that everybody fell in love with her. That's why I fell in love with her the first time I ever met her. She was that kind of person. You couldn't know Mary Ann without loving her, and I'm so glad that the Elks were able to be in a position to do that, to send her off to that trip. And we'll keep her name alive for many years to come by having the Elks Rainbow, and hopefully we're going to expand this and hopefully be able to do as much for other children who are suffering from cancer.
The thing is that it does so much for the family more for the family because you're so deprived with medical bills and buying medicine and running back and forth to hospitals, but it does so much.
Well, Donna, I want to thank you so much for sharing this with us and sharing your time and your photographs and your memories. And I know that we're all pleased that the Elks were able to do for Mary Ann what they want to do for so many others, because for whatever reason it seems that they go into a shell and don't want to talk to people, and when something like this comes along they just seem to come alive again, don't they?
They do, yeah, they do. They have to have something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a simple little thing like a ride on a roller coaster, and the Elks do it for a child that's that sick, I mean, you cannot help but feel incredibly grateful that somebody would do that for your little girl or your little boy.
Well, thank you very much, Donna. I really appreciate your time.
There appears to be a glitch in the race. The National Guard truck's coming along. Hopefully we can get them to shut down. The runners going the other way are going to be getting all those fumes. Jack is making his move, but Bart's holding pretty strong now. Jack's about maybe 60 feet back. Jack looks strong too. I don't know. It'll be interesting. There's one more hill coming up. We'll see how it transpires from here. There's another hill, downhill, coming up. I think Bart realizes that. It's a flat course, then a downhill, and then flat again. There's a 4-mile mark. They're down that downhill, and Bart picked it up coming down the hill, Brian. He just picked it up. Jack knows now it's time to make his move. He's trying. He's pulling for it. Bart knows he's going to be coming. Jesus Christ. Jack has just passed Bart. He's coming in now. Bart's tucked in behind him, trying to stay with him. Jack's really turning it on now. He's really turning it on. Thank you, Brian. Here's Jack coming up now. Jack, how you doing? You got him. You got him, kid. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Great. Just about a crawl, Jim. Right? Yeah. Crawl.
There goes Jack. I don't think Bart's going to catch him. Bart's just trying to watch out now and see if nobody else sneaks up on him. He's running smooth.
Go ahead, speed it up now. Nice job.
All right, Bart's opening up now. He's going to make a run. He's making a run at Coakley, Brian. Jack's tiring. I just don't see.
Get in the middle of the road if you can. Everybody go by.
Bart's coming up. He's not going to get it. Not going to get it. Coakley's got it. Coakley's got it. Jack has it. Bart's coming on strong. Bart's coming into the finish now. Big finish, Bart. Congratulations. Wow.
Well, the race now is for second place, and we have Joe Catalano leading John Scanlon, both from Quincy. Joe's been around since the running boom began. John's catching on to it now, and it looks like from Wormston that Joe's going to beat him on a lot of maturity, mainly on a lot of memory. I mean, he can do things that John hasn't learned to do quite yet.
All right, yes, Brian, we're waiting for the first female to come in here.
Runners are coming in now. Let's give them a hand. Give them a hand.
Is I talking to you now?
I can't get the, how does he have the numbers set up or anything? I don't know how he's got them set up.
You can just talk about
Looks like Jim Burish coming in now, making the turn, sprinting in, and Steve took him, yes. Great run by Steve Burish. Come up shot. They're coming in, we're waiting on the first female to come in here now, Brian. I don't have the first female on my camera. Do you have them, Brian? Do we have the first female?
He's recording this. If you talk along with this.
right, they're coming in now. One of the better runners. We should have the first female coming in shortly. You can see the exhaustion on some of these runners. It's cloudy, but it is hot. It's humid out there today. It's extremely hot. Here's an older fella coming in here.
Okay, all right. Talk along with the monitor. Here he goes. Talk along with the monitor. Mention some names.
Oh, Dick Sullivan, another one of the Quincy runners coming in. Seems to be a lot of Quincy folks here today. Actually, the runners, they don't look that tired for considering the weather, what it's supposed to be. It must be cooler out there, Ron, than we expected. Here they are coming through the shroud and the mist now. Interesting thing about runners, they always start out with a very strong stride, and by the end of the race they often have these little shuttle steps on. At the first female, here she comes, coming through. Number 35. Debbie Brazil from South Boston is our first female finisher. I keep talking in my head. Here comes our second female finisher. Trina Kirby of Plymouth, our second female finisher.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the winner of the race, who is Jack Petraka. Jack, how fast did you run out to today? Any idea?
23:34.
23 minutes and 5 miles, right?
Yep, 5 miles.
To be able to do that, to run 5 miles in 23 minutes, how much working out, how much running do you do during the week?
I try to put in around 50 miles a week, and it varies with some speed work, some long distance work, and some easy work, plus a little weight work. Jack?
That's what I was about to ask you next.
Yeah, a little bit of weight work. I'm not, obviously I'm not as well built as you are, but I'm
bulk weight, but yeah. You still need the strength, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I got to shake your hand because for you guys to go out there and run as well as Jack to go out there and run 5 miles in the period that you do and come back and sit down like you haven't even done anything is amazing to me. Again, I appreciate you being here because you're helping the Quincy Elks Rainbow Association, and that's my main purpose. But I just want to extend my hand to you because you're helping us doing something to help some other kids along the line. And I thank you. Okay,
thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jack. Good luck to you, all right?
Good luck. Yeah, I'll see you Wednesday. Yeah.
Move over so he can squeeze in there.
My jacket in there.
And amazed that you guys can run this race in these wheelchairs as fast as you do. I mean, I'm putting you in a situation where I'm elevating you, okay? Now here you are, a wheelchair person, You don't have to use your lower elements and your legs or whatever. I'm surprised and very pleased to see you guys do as well as you do. How do you train, Jack?
I do about 60 to 70 miles a week. I do speed workouts. I do them with Bart, who was just here, and a group of guys, and I do Nautilus 3 times a week.
You do use the weights. That's tremendous.
I used to do a lot of free weights, but it was bulking me up, so I went to the Nautilus, and it's just making me stronger.
Even the wheelchair people have to worry about bulk, huh?
No, just turnover speed and arm strength. Well,
Tell us a little bit about Washington.
Mount Washington was probably the toughest thing I ever did. I did it with some friends from here, from the Electrical Union, and we went up and killed ourselves going up there, but we accomplished the hill.
Climbing Mount Washington?
Climb Mount Washington. First and only wheelchair to ever have done it.
Oh, that's tremendous. That is really simply tremendous. I mean, I can look at, football players and say, hey, that guy's doing a terrific job, or that guy's doing a terrific job. But when you see a wheelchair person do things you're doing, and then climbing Mount Washington, what gave you desire to even think about doing something like that, Jack?
Well, a friend of mine who was a previous winner had died in an accident last year, and I did it for him, and I did it for myself. He thought I could do it, so I did. And it's over with now, and I don't think I'll go back. And
You're glad you've done it, and it's over with, right?
I'm not going back.
Jack, I'm glad that you're here on behalf of the Quincy Elks Rainbow Association.
It's a great cause.
And I thank you, okay?
Great cause. Thank you.
Here we go. Here comes another one of these mobs. You'll notice the expressions have switched from joy when they hit the finish line to just general relief. Oh, here's someone with a little bit extra spurt of energy there at the finish. This is our first junior coming across the finish line, it looks like. Look at him moving. Booting around the corner. Look at that kid. Look at him go. That was little Brian Holmes. 9 years old. Expression seems to sum it all up. I think we picked up a couple of extra people since this race started. I think we... Sometimes you gotta wonder what people want to do with their Saturday mornings, though. That's Bruce Feliz, 8 years old from Somerville. Look at that movement. Couple more years and this Bruce will be in the Olympics. 8 years old, 5-mile race, 85-degree temperature. Looks like he's ready for another one. Not even staggering. John Campbell from Hingham. He had hair when the race started. Another one. Jessica Veliz from Somerville. It's a family act. 6 years old. 6 years old. Her and her brother can discuss strategy later on as to what went wrong. Well, they come in all shapes and sizes. As Jim Boyd, he's moonlighting this afternoon. They keep coming out of the mist. Well, it seems that Jim Nance has switched from fullback to linebacker and has tackled Jim Boyd. So let's go over to the two Jims and get their impressions of the race.
Jim Boyd, who's the Channel 5 news commentator. I just spoke to him a few minutes ago. He wasn't breathing very hard. 5 minutes, it was just a few minutes ago. Now he's back again. He's still not breathing very hard. Jim, I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
It's good to see you in the kind of condition you are right now.
Well, it helps. Fortunately, I'm in the kind of condition I am, and I think that, you know, being in good health is important, so I exercise, and running is my way of getting exercise.
I was just about to ask you, you got a tough day, you know, getting up you're on the early morning now.
Yeah,
I know I see you're on at 5, 6 o'clock.
3:30 every morning.
How do you fit time in to work out and run so you stay in the kind of condition you are right now?
Well, the nice thing about my schedule is I have a lot of time in the afternoons, so when it's still light out, you can still get out, and you're still eager to do that exercise and outdoor activity.
You got a lot more energy than I do. Oh my goodness.
I don't know, Jim. I used to see you carrying over the goal line every once in a while. A lot of energy there.
That was during the daylight, though. But let me say this, Jim. I'm glad you're here because you're supporting the Quincy Elks Rainbow Association to help chronically ill children, and with the help of yourself and all the other guys being here, we're doing the job. And again, I want to thank you.
Jim,
and keep up the good work.
I've got an awful lot to be thankful for. You know, I've got good health, I've got a lovely family, I've got a nice job. And those things are important to me, and I realized that I wouldn't be able to do any of those things if I didn't have the
without your
support
help.
of other
That's
people.
correct.
And frankly, it's little price for me to pay to come out here and run in an effort like this that's helping chronically ill children. I gladly do it, and I hope that it helps.
Can we expect you back next year?
Sure thing.
Maybe we'll shorten the race a little bit.
Okay, or maybe I'll shorten my time, but it won't be so long between interviews.
Okay, again, Jimbo, thanks again.
Okay, my pleasure.
Well, we knew from the beginning that we started this race in Squantum today, and it appears that we wound up the race in Londonderry, England. The lead vehicles halfway through became a fog cutter, and I think at this level, at this juncture of time, most of the people have come in. We may have lost a few out there, but we'll send search parties out in a little while and see who we can pick up. We still have folks out there? You know, you honestly have to wonder what makes people want to run for what's closing in on now to be an hour to cover that distance. It's a lot of pain and punishment, particularly so early in the morning. But it is for a good cause. Once again, another person coming out of the shroud in the mist. The nice thing about road racing, as opposed to a lot of other sports, is you'll notice from the crowds that the people that are in are applauding and clapping and cheering on the people that are still out there. That spirit isn't just at the finish line after they beat them. Quite often what happens, you'll find runners out there on the route, in groups, encouraging each other, pulling each other through the run. It's not so much winning, it's winning yourself. Just getting out there and doing the job that has to be done. The victory is in covering the distance. Most of these runners are running for their own personal best or for their own improvement. Some of them in the different groups have been running 14, 15, 20 years. Others have just taken the sport up within the last year or so. It doesn't make any difference. It seems to be a bond that develops very quickly. It's a bond of, I suppose, perspiration and desire and whatever else motivates these individuals to get out there. Nonsense. Here's our first Martian finisher coming across the finish line now.
Okay, here we are at the start of the 1 mile fun run, and we've got a lot of children in this event. We're waiting for some of the traffic to go by, and these kids are psyched. They are psyched. It looks like they're getting ready to start. Very excited. Oh, false start. False start. Okay, they can't wait to get started, these guys. You see a lot of the parents in the background. Whoa, here they go, here they go. Oh, got a rabbit out front. Oh, leading the pack. Here they go. Whoa, number 401. Look at these kids go. Look at these kids go. All right. Okay, and then we have some of the parents following behind, lending support. Everybody's getting into the act today. Look at him go, following the police officer right up the street on his motorcycle. Okay.
Here's a man who, in his own words, wants to thank the Quincy Elks and the Rainbow Foundation for what they've done for his family and for other families.
Hi, my name is Steve Tashkin. I just want to tell you how the Quincy Elks Rainbow has helped my family. My son had leukemia for 2 months, and we were blessed by having a Quincy Elks organization. Number one, they sent my son to a Celtics game, and they brought him to the game. We got an autograph ball, and it was quite an exciting venture for us. My son was very happy. We also, youngest son Nicholas and my wife Della and me and the family were fortunate enough they sent us to Disney World for a week. We went with another family that had cancer. The father of the family had cancer, and we're very happy and pleased to see what this organization has done for us. And it's a great feeling to know that people care like these people do. And all I want to say is thanks, Quincy Elks.
Hey! Here they come! Here they come! Here they come! Let's give the kids a hand! Give them a good hand! Come on!
Okay, all right. Ponytail waving in the breeze. Here she comes, number 135. Whoa, whoa. Okay. Give him a hand, give him a hand. And the fans have been very important here today, lending support to all the runners. Whoa!
How long is that?
1 mile. I know. Well, a few of the parents following up. The kids beat them out. Jackie?
Paul Giorgi! Paul Giorgi! Oh, dynamite! Look at that! He ran the whole race. He ran the whole mile. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? I knew you would. God love you, my guy.
Again, because of guys like Joe Grant. Joe, let's talk to you for a little bit. Were you satisfied with today's effort?
Jim, I was absolutely thrilled. I really was. I mean, the fact that the Quincy Police Department came in, the Quincy Fire Department took part, the ambulance donated their time. We had people like Paul Gioso, who walked the 1 mile, who's never run a race before in his life. I was thrilled, and of course, thank God the weather was in our favor. But again, Jim, it was because of people like you and Jim Boyd and some of the others who came down to support us that brought a lot of the people and attracted a lot of the runners. And I think we just had a fantastic day. It was our first time down here in this part of the state. We've had it up in the North Shore before, but now we want to bring it down here where it all started.
Everybody that came here today enjoyed themselves. And I'll tell you something, I bet you they're looking forward to next year. I know, at least I am.
I am too, Jim. We've raised hundreds of dollars today, and I'm looking forward very much to next year. I know it's going to be much bigger than it was this year. You can tell just by the enthusiasm.
You know something, Joe? Even though it was a successful day today, raising money, etc., it's even going to be more successful next year and the years to come.
That's right. I agree.